Stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. And remain standing for a moment of silence.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Roll call, please. Here.
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 Here. All commissioners are present. Number 3, declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, there is none. Number 4, communications. No communications. Number 5, the minutes for February 19, February 26 for 2013.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
make a motion to approve the minutes from February 19, 2013, also February 26, 2013.
Second.
Roll call, please. Yes.
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 Motion passed. All commissioners present. Number 6, subordination request approval for Patricia Johnson.
Madam President, Commissioners,
Welcome, Dennis.
Hey, Dennis.
we have a subordination request from Harris Bank, PNC Bank, for Patricia Johnson for a property at 6 Doty Street. She has her first mortgage, if you will, with PNC Bank, and second mortgages, if you will, for facade and rehab with planning and development. She is increasing her mortgage balance by some $17,000 through a borrower assistance program with PNC. However, it should be noted that even though she's obtaining a larger amount, she's re-amortizing the loan over 30 years, 360 months, and her payment will be reduced about $170, or I'm sorry, $70 a month. Her rate is being reduced from 6.75% to 3.75%. I recommended approval of the subordination agreement primarily due to the assistance that we're providing to the borrower owner of the property, and in addition to her payment record that she has in spite of her medical issues with the city. All of her payments have been made on time. In fact, one of the loans was paid off, and she has even paid down on the deferred portion of her loan, which is rare nowadays. So not only do I recommend the subordination, I highly recommend the subordination on behalf of Patricia Johnson, and she is here. Whoops.
No, I didn't have any questions, but I did notice the 3%. I thought that was great, and as you spoke about the other issues, I think that's great. So, if no one has any questions, I would.
Any discussion, Commissioner?
No, I'll just make a comment. Yeah, it's an excellent rate, and
Absolutely.
she's borrowing more money and still keeping her payment less. So.
You should be commended. And with that, I make a motion to approve the subordination for
Patricia Johnson.
Patricia Johnson at 6 Doty.
Yes.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passed with all commissioners present. Still like Mrs. Johnson. Okay, number 7, homebound conditional forgivable loan approval.
Commissioners, this is for 10 homebound applicants for an approval. I did add on one, Ms. Lopez, and I gave you guys a revised one. And then I actually had one that just withdraw from the program, David Garcia. And everybody is present today.
All right.
Does everybody want to come up from homebound?
Okay, we have some from Chicago, Calumet City. Welcome. Any questions, commissioners, discussion?
And most of them today did attend the first-time homebuyers class too, so they've been doing homebound all day today.
So you understand all the conditions and all the terms, okay.
Questions?
Good. Just anyone, how did you hear about the program?
My loan officer, Annabelle Enriquez.
And what bank?
He's with National Fidelity Mortgage.
Oh, okay, National Fidelity, okay. Nobody's realtor?
Realtor.
Oh, okay. What's your
Marie
realtor?
Green?
Kathy Camp from McCollins.
Okay, don't know him.
Mike Campbell, Mobile Realty.
I know Mike, okay, okay.
Marie Green? Hi, you live in Chicago. How did you hear about our program?
Through the realtor,
Through your realtor, and that is?
Coldwell Banker.
I work for Coldwell Banker. Which Coldwell Banker? Who is this?
Marta McKay.
Martin?
Welcome to Hammond. Okay, good job. Any more questions, discussion? Okay,
Madam President?
yes,
I'd
Commissioner.
like to make a motion to approve the homebound conditional forgivable loans for the 9 applicants.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners present. Congratulations. Welcome to Hammond.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Number 8, conditional approval of the sale of NSP properties and related affordability assistance allowance.
Madam President, once again,
Yes.
Commissioners, we have obtained and conditionally approved a sales contract for the purchase of 1748 Davis Avenue in Hammond, Whiting, depends on what it is. It's technically Whiting by mailing address, but if I put Whiting in here, it causes a lot of questions, so I'm putting Hammond down. On behalf of Timothy V. Cowan, this property has not yet been abated or rehabbed. We have contracts to do so. Mr. Cowan has seen the result of the work on the NSP properties, and when told that his house would be completed in comparable fashion, he decided to go forward. We have ordered and received appraisals on the property as completed values of that property, average 134.5, and that was the listing contract and the sales price of the property. In conjunction with the acquisition of the property, we also reviewed the documents provided, the financial documents provided by Mr. Cowan, and he is also going to be entitled to the maximum affordability assistance allowance, down payment assistance, if you will, in the amount of $25,000. And Mr. Cowan is here to answer any questions you may have. You go, Tim.
How you doing, Mr. Cohen?
So far, so good. What about yourself?
Good. Thank you for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
And you're from Chicago also.
Yes, ma'am.
Welcome to Hammond.
Thank you,
What do you do for a living?
I'm a slot technician at Horseshoe Hammond Casino.
Oh, okay. I've probably seen you there. Welcome to Hammond.
Thank you.
Don't give out any
Any more
secrets.
questions?
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I'd like to make a motion for the conditional approval for the sale of NSP properties related to affordability assistance allowance for Timothy Cowan at 1748 Davis Avenue in Hammond, Indiana.
Second.
Roll call, please. Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. Welcome to Hammond.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Collins.
Number 9, acceptance of bid for the sale of real estate and operation of a homeless shelter for 527, 529 State through 529 State Street. Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Madam President, the proof of publication and the legal notice of sale of real estate, those were published in accordance with Indiana statute.
Okay.
So for the record, you have that in there.
And Commissioners, we did not receive any bids.
No bids.
No. So, once that happens, if nobody bids on the minimum price, then you're then able to negotiate with anybody. Obviously, this is the shelter that is currently being run by Hammond Baptist Church, and we have an agreement with them from a ways back, actually. So we'll sit down with them here in the very near future, have a discussion.
Okay. Any questions, Phil? Any discussion? So we just move on to number 9. Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome.
Number 10, approval of the 2013 EECBG budget.
Commissioners, in front of you, you have a budget for the Energy Efficiency Community Block Grant funds. This is money that we have, we've already used almost all of the funds of the program. The only dollars that are left are administration dollars. So basically what that means is the people that were facilitating the program, we now can justify that they spent X amount of hours on the program, and we can use the money to use for administration costs. Once we spend the last administration dollars, the program will be completely over with for the city of Hammond.
So we need a motion to approve.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion for the approval of the 2013 EECBG budget.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes, all commissioners present. Number 11, approval for professional services agreement with United Neighborhood, Inc. for a new home construction project.
Commissioners, I'll try and make this short. The property at Parish View was owned by United Neighborhoods, Inc. Because of some tax issues and the cost of tax dollars on the property, the property was then transferred to the city. However, we still look at it as United Neighborhoods, Inc. as the group, the organization that really is focused on bringing new homes, new constructed homes to Parish View. So the Redevelopment Commission has taken ownership of these 2 parcels, and this agreement would be an agreement between us and United Neighborhoods, Inc., so that United Neighborhoods, Inc. could now build 2 new homes in Parish View. And I'll be happy to take any questions that you might have. And also, we have Alexius Barber here, and we have Brandon Smith, who is from Homes of Distinction, United Neighborhoods, Inc., pending the approval through the Redevelopment Commission, has already approved an agreement with Homes of Distinction to build the 2 homes. You may recognize that name because we worked with them at the Lincoln Lake homes, which have been extremely successful. The homes that he's worked on have basically been sold before the project is completed.
And Parish View is in my neighborhood. Any questions, Commissioners? Discussion?
Yeah, I have one for Alexis.
Alexa?
Is it evening yet? Oh, hello, everyone. Yes, Commissioner Hopperidge.
How are you?
Wonderful, and yourself?
I'm great, thank you. Yeah, it's a very nice subdivision there. I'm excited to see two more new homes go up. My question was, you know what style of house you're going to build yet? Are you looking for the 2-story or a ranch?
We have Brandon Smith here from Homes of Distinction. He has pictures of the homes and the layouts, if you guys would like to see those. Sure. Brandon, would you come up, please?
We have a realtor over here. He loves that stuff.
Excuse
me. Real.
You know, just right. But just for the commission to really be, at ease with this, we have covenants and restrictions that govern Parish View right now. We're going to adhere to those, plus exceed those as well. And the covenants and restrictions, I have copies if anyone would like to see those as well. You have to build a home there 1,500 square feet or larger. The homes we're looking at are 1,800 square feet to 2,100. So we've made 2 great selections there, I think. 4-bedroom homes. Then there's another option, which is a 3-bedroom home with an office that could be used as a 4th bedroom as well. Anything you want to add, Brandon?
Like you'll see, as she said, also there's a 4-bedroom, a 3-bedroom option. We're following the covenants that was given to us. There'll be two-story homes. One will be the street right when you come into Parish View to the left. The other will be in the back corner of the subdivision.
Very nice.
That one to the left, will that be that first lot, or?
It's the second lot. Yeah.
I think Tony wants to buy it.
There's some really nice homes there. I really like those. Nice driving by there now.
And one of the original goals of Brandon's was to build the home and then have it be part of the parade of homes. Now, based on our timeline, it's possible it's probably not going to be able to happen now.
Yeah, there's a couple different parades throughout the year. There's a spring tour that the Times puts on. There's a fall tour that they sometimes put on. And then there's the Home Builders Association, which I'm a member of. That's in the summertime. I don't think we'll meet that one, but I'm hoping that there will be a fall tour of homes, and that'll bring some, people to Hammond to kind of to see the subdivision, see the new homes.
Wonderful.
So when these properties are completed, are you going to invite us to take a look at them?
No, of course.
All right.
Of course.
Madam President?
Yes, Commissioner.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion for approval for the professional service agreement with United Neighborhoods, Inc. for the new construction project.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes. Motion passes, all commissioners present.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Thank you both.
This is a beautiful home.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much. And just for the record, we are getting a lot of phone calls at the office regarding the project. We're hoping to get them pre-sold.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Number 12, approval of development agreement for Marina Development Area.
Commissioners, we're excited to have in front of you today a development agreement with a group that is going to develop the land around the Walmart in Robertsdale. We were told when we originally put in, when the Walmart was constructed, that after Walmart is constructed, you're going to have businesses that like to locate around Walmarts because they know they're going to be successful. And of course, this is where we're at with this group. We're very excited about this agreement, and to talk a little bit more about it, I asked Tim Schwartz to come up and give you a little bit more detail. And Mike Pierce.
Welcome.
Madam Commissioner, or Madam President and Commissioners, thank you for having us this afternoon. Probably the first order of business is for you to find out who we are. Mike and I are partners, along with another third principal, in a series of companies based in Algonquin, Illinois, in the far northwest suburbs, under the name of Oak Ridge Properties and Oak Ridge Realty and Oak Ridge Development Company, depending on which hat we're wearing. We're primarily shopping center brokers and developers. The reason we're here today starts probably 6-7 years ago. Michael was representing Walmart in their negotiations with the partnership that owned the property that subsequently was developed in Robertsdale. And after the close of the sale, the partnership that owned that land and the surrounding land said, great, we want to get that property sold, but how do we do that? There's still a lot of work that has to be done there. And that partnership is partially owned by the Collins family from Luke Oil and some affiliates. And Tom Collins Jr. basically approached Mike maybe about 2.5 years ago and said, you did a great job finally putting the Walmart deal together with Phil's assistance, and it did take a few years. Is there any way you can help us try to market the rest of this property? And Mike said, sure, we'll be glad to help you try to market it, but you need to put together the infrastructure to make these pieces viable. So we had a series of meetings and discussed all of this. And I think after a little research, Mr. Collins and his group decided that we had the background that they were looking for. We've developed a number of properties in the metropolitan Chicago area, a few in Florida, a few in Wisconsin, ranging from little 10,000 square foot strip centers on up to, within the last 8 years, 2 30 or 40 acre shopping centers that are anchored by people like Target, Kohl's, JCPenney's, et cetera, and kind of everything in between. So we do a lot of brokerage and we do development on our own account and with partners. So the other partners in our new venture said, you're the people we're looking for. We spent some time putting together a joint venture agreement. Our entity is going to be responsible for the day-to-day development coordination with Phil and his staff on about 16 acres surrounding this property through the entire development process. We will hire general contractors, engineers, architects. We've already started that process in anticipation of going forward to put together a series of lots. I think you might have an overview that Phil may have given you. But we're looking at several retail centers, one that would be maybe 50, 60,000 feet that would include several of what we call the mid-size boxes. Those are the 20, 30,000 foot stores that are sized like a TJ Maxx or a Michaels or something like that. That'll be part of the development. A smaller little strip center that'll be about 15,000 feet that might have about 8 smaller tenants. A bank, 3 restaurants, and then a couple other uses to be determined. In conjunction with all of this, part of what we, as we started to go through this and looked at the condition of the properties and what all needs to happen, in discussing this with the city staff, we came to the conclusion that we ought to widen the focus of what's being proposed. And so as a result, what we mutually decided is that really to make this thing work correctly, we're going to redevelop Indianapolis Boulevard from basically the state line down to 5 Points. Phase 1 will be part of this first agreement that basically goes to the entrance ramp to the casino. Phase 2 at a later date will pick up from there on the way, all the way down through 5 Points. But it'll give us, based on the city's plans, give us a chance to redevelop that street, put in architecture, landscape architecture, and street furniture, and basically redo the roadway so it becomes more viable and, quite frankly, more enticing to have future businesses in Phase 2 that would basically be from the entrance ramp to the casino down to 5 Points opt to try to locate as well. Our proposal is such that the dollars that are subject to this agreement is basically all infrastructure dollars, not all of what we need, but a good chunk of it. And we'll basically put in new water, new sewer, new stormwater detention, new Indianapolis Boulevard, and clear up all of the junk and garbage that you see there right away so that we have lots that become a little bit more becoming at the front entrance to the city. Our timetable is such that step 1, we've already contracted with American Structure Point to do the engineering that will be necessary for an Indianapolis Boulevard, and another civil engineering firm, Craig Konaki and Associates, to do our on-site engineering. We're starting on those processes. We hope to be able to fast-track approval with the state so that we can try to do some road work on Indianapolis Boulevard by fall. If not, it'll start first thing in the spring. But we will be selling properties and putting together the development plans for the rest of this so that some of the site work and development work, and possibly even a building or two, depending on how fast the State Department of Transportation cooperates, could start yet this fall, but we'll be going forward in earnest in 2014. And we expect to have the entire project completed by spring of 2015 at the latest. So I hope that gives you a little bit of overview of who we are and how we got involved. Thank you. I'll be glad to answer a question or two if you have them.
You know, as Tim mentioned, first, just as a reminder, we approved right before March 1st, we had a special meeting, as you may recall. That was for this project. We had a declaratory resolution for the redevelopment area so that we can offer so we can have TIF, tax increment financing, which would help pay for a bond, which goes towards the $3.5 million that we're offering to their group. And when you read the agreement, you'll see, all said and done, we're talking about approximately $25 million worth of development. So it's very exciting. I think there's a lot of people that are interested in having more restaurant choices up north, more retail locations. And then you also have the part of it that you're taking advantage of being so close to the Illinois border that you're bringing in people from Illinois, bringing their money into Hammond and spending here. And that just adds, that's what true economic development is bringing more wealth to your city, to your community. So we're excited about this, and if you have any questions, please feel free.
I do have a question about the restaurants. Do you think it'll be more upscale restaurants like Lori's or, you know, something of that nature, or more like the Ponderosas or stuff? What type of restaurants are we talking about?
Well, we don't have commitments from anybody yet because we haven't been officially able to negotiate with anyone until we get approval from the city, which after this we'll still be going through process is with the city, but basically we're looking for sit-down restaurants that if you had to target it, I'd say price points are probably middle of the road. And as an example, I won't say that these are people that we will use, but they would be people like Chili's, perhaps somebody like Outback Steakhouse, somebody like Red Robin, those types of uses.
Basically, this is our job, is to bring business to our city, and this is a great opportunity.
And again, those are not people that I'm saying are coming here, but
Yeah,
that,
we
that
understand.
concept.
I'm really excited. I'm over that way a lot, and I know, I almost lost the tire the other day. So we're looking forward to this improvement.
Also, I'll mention that the agreement also says that there's going to be demolition of some older structures that are in that area, which we're excited about. And the one thing Tim mentioned, I did not bring a map, so I don't have a map to show everybody. But the way the parcels are divided right now, it's kind of an odd shape. So by putting in these new infrastructure improvements and adding the stoplights, you're really going to make it, you're making the property as efficient as possible to put as much development as possible as you can on there. So we're excited about that as well.
Commissioner? Marion, excited. It's a good thing. Any questions or discussion in reference?
You know, Dave brought up a great point because he sat in on a few of these meetings, but Stan Dostotny, our city engineer, also stated that the lights will be coordinated so that the flow of traffic will be better in the future. Because you do have a Walmart there, and you are going to have $25 million worth of development, so there's going to be more traffic. So the lights are only going to help ease that issue.
Well, toward that point, Phil, I should point out, we're taking the one existing intersection in front of Walmart. That's going to go away, and we're putting in two new ones with two new traffic lights that straddle at either side. So with the rest of this retail and the Walmart, the overall traffic pattern will be much improved.
Any questions, Commissioner? Discussion?
Madam President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of development agreement for the Marina Development Area.
Thank you. Thank you. Roll call, please. Yes.
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 Thank you very much for your support. We look forward to joining the community.
We're looking forward to the improvements. Thank you so much.
Commissioners, I would remember Tim and Mike. We're working with them on some other projects in the city. I have a feeling this won't be the last time you see them in front of the Redevelopment Commission.
Looking forward to that. And number 13, approval for funding for the Hammond Redevelopment Corporation to operate the Hammond Innovation Center.
Madam President, this is actually a consulting agreement between the Redevelopment Commission and the Hammond Development Corporation. You may recall the Business Technology Incubator, formerly Mr. Boyan. And about a year and a half ago, the HCC took those duties of operating it and managing that incubator on as part of a restructuring. That agreement, the consulting agreement you entered into back about now 2.5 years ago, technically expired on September 30th, 2012. The agreement you have before you is an agreement to extend that, and I will tell you, since October 1st, Mr. McLaughlin and the Hammond Development Corporation has continued providing that service for you, but we thought it best that we actually enter into an agreement to that effect because he's been doing it, and he has been doing it for 2.5 years, ever since you restructured. So the agreement you have before you extends the consulting agreement from October 1, 2012 through September 30th, 2014, unless it's renewed or terminated by either party. It can be terminated if you decide that you want to go in a different direction at some point. It can be terminated on 30 days' notice.
30 days notice. Any questions, Commissioner?
Can I mention, because we have some newer commissioners from when the first agreement was signed, I know President Lambert was here. I can't remember if Commissioner Hoffrich was here as well. But the Redevelopment Commission used to run the incubator. So we used to actually approve all the budgetary items, and at some point we realized this made more sense and more efficiency to have the Hammond Development Corporation run the day-to-day operations. They're right across the street. Mark McLaughlin, who is here, who's the director, was very familiar with the incubator. So I just wanted, for those that haven't been, that are newer, that weren't here when we signed the initial agreement, just to give you a little bit of background. And Mark McLaughlin's here if you'd like him to. He didn't want me to call him up, so I'd like Mark McLaughlin to come up to the podium. And we can ask a few questions.
Welcome, Mark.
And if you don't have any questions, it's okay. I'm just kind of teasing Mark a little
Hey,
bit.
Dennis, do we
Thanks,
have
Phil.
Mark?
You're welcome.
I'll remember this.
Good evening.
Hello.
We have a full house, our tenants?
We do. We have one office open,
Wonderful.
but it's a struggle. People come, people go. The mission of the incubator is business development for startups. So one office we keep available for, it's almost a free office for startups that are working towards building the business plan. We have a training center, computers, but generally we stayed at about 90% occupancy for the last 6 months.
Very good. Very good.
Commissioners, by the way, also this is in the Technology Park in downtown Hammond, so this is funded by the Technology Park Fund.
Have the commissioners been to the incubator? I know Tony, you've been there, but have the others, have you guys been to the? You should go visit one day.
Very nice in there.
Very nice. We saw the before and the after, and the after was so much better.
Well, and there are, every week there are seminars there. Last week was a social media panel discussion. Week before that was a veterans starting businesses. Microsoft Office is in QuickBooks. Training is always done. At least once a week, I think there are training sessions held there.
So I would recommend that if you haven't been there, do so. You'll be surprised at what we have downtown. So we need a motion for your approval. Thank you, Mark.
President,
Yes.
I just want to make sure I have the verbiage right. Should we say funding or should we say consulting agreement?
Consulting agreement, please.
Madam President, I make a motion to enter into or to extend a consulting agreement between the City of Hammond Redevelopment Commission and the Hammond Innovation Center.
Thank you.
A second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Yes.
Myrick, yes.
Yes.
Yes, motion passes on Commissioner Myrick's
Thank you.
motion. Roll call, we did the roll call, didn't we? I'm ready for another one. I want to hear you say that again. Okay, motion passes, all commissioners approve. Number 14, Mr. Talon.
Commissioners, we're still reviewing the submissions we received for Oxbow Landing, so I don't have anything to report on just yet, but we're working on that. I had something to report, but it's escaping me right now, so I'll be happy to entertain any questions that you have.
I passed by the old Queen Anne factory and I see that it's almost completely down.
Yeah, Queen Anne, to me, it was a slower demolition project.
It was.
But, yeah, it's taken a while. But actually, once we approve the bid for it, doesn't matter to us so much as long as it's within a timely manner. But I think it's almost completely down, if not completely down at this point.
I would say 95% of it is gone.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It opens that corner up immensely.
And to be honest, we've already had inquiries about the site, which is a good thing. Nothing will probably happen really fast with it, but the fact that, that we already had industrial users that saw property coming down and say, hey, what are you going to be doing with that? Well, it'll be open. Maybe we'll have an RFP in the near future. Because typically what we'll do is we'll get interest from somebody. They'll submit a letter of intent, and based on that letter of intent, we'll then do an RFP and see what other interest we have. So who knows? Maybe as it gets a little warmer, we'll have a serious offer or serious interest in that property.
I was in my office earlier and someone brought up Munster Steel and could not believe city of Hammond had the audacity to lure that away from Munster.
Ah,
I was like, really?
we have
Well,
audacity.
that's a little, Munster Steel has to move.
I know, that's what I was telling them. They had to
Yeah. If anything, we did compete against other cities and communities, and the good thing is we won. So the fact that they are going to locate here, we probably are, the Munster Steel project is still moving forward. We're talking with the new owners, or I shouldn't say new owners, but we're talking with the owners of the property and his developer on a weekly basis. They're still finishing their site plan, and I would say probably in the next couple months, we'll probably be prepared to close on the purchase agreement that we had with Munster Steel folks. So we're getting closer, which is a good thing. But these projects take time. You can't rush into them, and you got to make sure you dot your I's and cross your T's. So. Yeah.
I drove by the ninth span, and as I always do, and it's coming down. It's really looking good. I'll be glad to see it go back up.
Yeah, I haven't been by in a couple weeks, but it seems like they're moving relatively quickly, trying to get it down.
It's down already.
Yeah,
There's 2 or 3 left, I think.
that's a good thing. We also have the, and this would be something Stan Dostotny to speak on better than me, but the Indianapolis Boulevard project is going to start in about 45 days, and that's from 165th to 169th. And that's going to put in new ornamental lighting, reconstruct the road, and it's going to look really nice when it's completed.
Really good. Any questions for Mr. Taylor?
I was going to ask about Woodmar, but I think I won't.
What about that? I know you weren't going to ask, but you know what? I have to ask because I go in there all the time and I do shop at the store that's there. And I don't know, maybe it's just me. I really feel like they should have done a better job. Like,
Can I
I'm
just
not
say
happy with what.
that the subcontractors have, obviously you knew about the mechanics liens, and they had filed suit on, and I think Chelsea even wrote an article about it, they had filed suit on to foreclose the mechanics lien and named us because of the development agreement as potentially having an interest or potentially owing money that they would like to get their hands on. So because it is now in litigation, I would recommend to you that if you want to hear all about it, that we have an executive session.
That works for me. Commissioners?
Okay.
And I'd be happy, like, before one of your meetings, if you want to meet a half hour ahead of time, and we can go through the whole thing. But it's a fairly lengthy discussion, so it'll be about a half hour.
It's like taking on a life of its own.
Oh, it's had a life for a long time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me. We can, I'll let you give that job to you. Schedule a executive meeting.
Sure.
Like at 4 o'clock before the next one or something.
Okay, and typically Cynthia schedules those, but we'll figure it out and get it put together. It's obviously, for those of you that don't know, Cynthia's out and about to have her baby, so yes.
You haven't had a baby yet?
I don't believe so, but I don't know 100%. I think she's close though. For sure, the doctor told her you can't go back to work for now, and I'm sure soon we'll hear something.
Yeah.
Let us know.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
April 2nd. Oh, no, we could do it for sure. It's just making sure we get all the public, we gotta put it in the newspaper and make sure we list the reason, so we'll work on it.
Want me to write it down for her, April 2nd?
Yeah, we could do it the next meeting for sure.
Either talk to her about it or whatever, and we'll get it done.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good. 4 o'clock, will that give us plenty of time?
Yeah, let me talk to her. It'll either be on the 2nd or the 16th, but let me talk to her. Within the next 2 meetings, we'll have the executive session and, okay.
So we're at April 2nd, did you say?
I said the 2nd or the 16th. We'll do it at 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Let me look.
Okay, Ms. Miller, are you finished?
Yes, I'm done.
He's more
Ms. Miller, are you guys
Um,
done with Bill?
Yes, we're done with it.
We're done with Bill.
I have some exciting news.
We need some exciting news.
April the 19th at 9 o'clock,
the executive board of Haven House will have their ribbon cutting at the transitional shelter housing complex on Ames and Road. You'll be receiving a notice in the mail. They have your names and addresses and everything. That's April the 19th at 9 o'clock, Ames and Road. Haven House Executive Board will have a ribbon cutting.
All right.
We just started working with the Ministerial Alliance in the city to have our annual prayer breakfast. It's not going to be until May, but we started talking about it. The theme for that is investing in hope, and it's going to be from 8 to 10 at the Dynasty.
May what?
May the 2nd.
Okay.
That's on a Thursday. Lastly, I'll be speaking this afternoon at 6:30 at the East Hammond Pullman Crime Watch meeting. They wanted some information about our department, as well as I received some information from the state regarding the sequester. So I'll be talking a little bit about that.
I have a question, Awana. What was the name of the prayer breakfast is May 2nd from 8 to 10, but what was
The thing,
investing in
hope.
Okay.
Any more questions for Alana? See, there is none.
Love all the information you always give us. Thank you.
Okay, let's pay some bills.
Madam President,
Yes, please.
I'd like to make a motion to pay the Register of Claims for February 13th, 2013 through March 15, 2013. Register of Claims number R48168 through R48303.
Thank you.
Second.
Thank you. Roll call, please.
Yes.
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 Yes, motion passes. All commissioners approve. Number 16, new and unfinished business. New and unfinished business. Yes, we have none. Number 17, public comment. 3 minutes. Public comment. The public doesn't want to speak. Okay, number 18. Number 18, please.
Madam President,
Yes, Commissioner.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Thank you. All in favor say aye.
Aye.